Ask the Somali pirates. Ask the men who hide in Pakistani compounds. They'll tell you. We're the ones hunting the hunters. We are SEAL, SAS, Delta, GROM. We are Tier 1.
Welcome back to Square One Games. My name is XONEVANT, and we are now in episode 2 of the Road to 1000 for Medal of Honor Warfighter. We're in the Through the Eyes of Evil mission, and let's go ahead and get things moving here. Let's go ahead and close this menu out. Now, there are 2 unlocks we're going to be getting in this particular mission. We're going to kind of do them not in their correct order, meaning we're going to get the one for completing the mission first, and then we're going to go back and get the one for called On the Clock. So I'll explain that more when we get there. But the first thing is, let's go ahead and get through this little training exercise right quick. Go ahead and sprint through here, hit B, kind of dive through, and then hop up, hit A to jump over. You're going to be in this room. Just fire at this target like normal. And then if you play Battlefield 3, you know that you can hit down on the D-pad and switch between like single shot and burst fire. So that's kind of just telling you that you can do that there. And then it's also telling you that you can hit down right thumbstick and switch between like a scope and a non-scoped view. So just do that, shoot that target, and then throw a grenade by hitting RB at the targets in the back. Go ahead and talk to this guy, and then wait for him to move. Okay, go ahead and run behind this piece of cover, hit B, and get basically in a crouch position. And then if you hit LB, you can basically go into like an aim down sight kind of deal. You can peek out like that and take out those targets, and it kind of gives you better protection against gunfire. There's going to be 2 more that you have to do. You're not really worried about getting killed here, but this is your time to kind of practice and get your timing down and all that good stuff. So make sure you sit there for a while and do that. Now this is where we're actually going to do some stuff. So let's go ahead and get into our first unlock. Now the reason why I'm going to do this is because I want you to get a feel for the way that this little training exercise is laid out before we start working on the unlock called On the Clock. So I'm going to show you that as we go through here. The only thing you have to do to get know the enemy is just complete the course, meaning you don't have to actually do anything. I'll show you that right quick. There's going to be 3 targets in the first room. You can see that in the top right hand side of the screen there's going to be a timer, and then targets destroyed 0 for 16. And there's 3 targets. You can shoot them in the chest or the head. Now I'm not going to shoot anybody here just because I want to prove that you can get the unlock without really doing anything. When you get to this room, there's going to be 3, but now they go up and down, so it makes it a little bit more tricky to get on target. And then you have these guys, which if you shoot these guys you get penalties, so you have to be careful. You also get penalties for not shooting the 16 targets, but I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter about the penalties. For the Know the Enemy unlock, you just have to basically run through this thing. So more stuff in here. Now you have targets going right to left. You're going to have this thing, you got a melee kill. And then there's going to be some more in here. Now this is when it gets a little bit tricky because you have these going up and down. And then you have the enemy, not the enemy, but I guess like the civilian behind it. And if you shoot that target, obviously you'll suffer penalties. 2 more on the other side. And then you finally get to this thing where you have to breach the door. Go ahead and breach the door. And then just pick kick. And then there's just 2 targets that you have to shoot, and when you shoot them, your unlock for Know the Enemy is going to pop. So there's Know the Enemy, 15G. So remember, you don't have to actually do anything. All you got to do is just walk through here and knock it out, and you'll be good to go. Now I do want to point out a couple things before we go to the next unlock, which is called On the Clock. You can see in your top right hand corner, you do have the final time, the best time. Obviously the final time is really high because I skipped a lot of the targets and I didn't really shoot anything. I didn't get any bonuses or anything like that. You can also see that where it says headshots 2 out of 16, which was the last 2 that I just got in this room, I did get 4 seconds in bonus. So each headshot is worth 2 extra seconds, which is pretty much what you have to do to get this thing down to 18 seconds. So let's go ahead and restart our checkpoint, and that way we can start on the other unlock. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is go ahead and switch to my pistol. I just like the way that I like the way that it feels going through this particular section. I feel like with the other gun, the bullets are kind of all over the place. I don't know if I got headshots or not until I get to the end. And what I like to do is go ahead and run through it. And if I miss a couple headshots, I just restart my checkpoint and keep trying again. But hopefully I can get it for the first try. For you guys, I have been practicing a little bit, so I feel like I can get it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I'll show you the path that I normally take. And you can miss a little bit here. You can also overshoot. It's not that big of a deal. Just make sure that you keep going and reload as you come up these steps. Take those two out kind of in a line. Take that one out, melee kill. You do not have to have a beautiful run going through here either. It can be pretty okay, right? Like I missed a headshot there, no problem. Keep going, breach. This takes a pretty good chunk of your time. And there it is. So 13.2 seconds on the clock, 10G. So remember, you can see in the top right hand corner, my overall time was 45.2. Remember I said the target was 50, right? That's kind of where I wanted to be, because I feel like mathematically you can probably get under 18 seconds if you do that. I got no penalties over 16 targets, and my headshots were 16 out of 16. So I got a bonus of 32 seconds, which brought me down to like 13.2. So just keep all that in mind when you're going through, and you don't have to be perfect. I mean, you saw that I missed a couple of shots and kind of fumbled around on a couple of targets, but I was still able to finish way below the time. So if you're going through and you miss a couple of whatever, don't freak out. Just go all the way to the end and see what your time is like, and then just keep honing in on what you feel like you were I guess I don't want to say bad at, but stuff that you messed up on, and you should be able to get this in a couple of tries. I practiced a couple of times before I played through this game, and then obviously I was able to do it on my first take, which is pretty cool. I didn't want to have to do any restarts or anything. And then once you're done with the Know the Enemy and the On the Clock unlock, go ahead and head through here. And that's going to be it for that mission. So I will see all of you hopefully all of you in the next episode. You guys be good.